It's Bonetta.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
What did you say?
I thought it was more. Maybe I did say Bonetta. I was thinking it's Bonetta.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, I know there's a few more that want to join. Sandy wants to join so she can do the cover, so we'll give her a few minutes.
Okay, and I caught up. I got my pages made.
Oh, did you see how easy those are?
Yes, it really was. I really like this.
I do too.
And
It's
I have made my baby boy album. I'm working on my baby girl, and I was going to do the generic album. And I
right.
was thinking about doing one of these for the generic album
Oh, that's a good idea.
in the large file folder, but I'm going to think a little harder about that. If I do, I'll make sure I'll let you see it.
Oh, I do. I want to see it, especially the large one.
Yes, I think I'm going to do that, but I'm still debating.
You know what? The large file folder, because there was only 6 pages, actually, I did that a lot faster.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it went by a lot faster.
Okay, and that would be, I can still do the 12 months with that. Or should I do the 6 pages for the 12, the 12 pages for the 12 months?
I would do the 12 pages.
Okay. All righty.
Yeah, some of the ladies are asking if this will be recorded. I thought it would record automatically and go to YouTube. The last one did not, so I might have to next week do another video where it's just a recording.
Okay, now when I signed in this time, it asked me, it said that it was going to record, and I had to agree before I could sign in, but last time I didn't have to agree.
I think it's because I did it as a private last time instead of a live.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just I'm gonna disappear for a minute. I'm gonna pop over, make
Okay.
sure they have the link on Facebook, and I will be right back.
Okay. Hello, Sandy.
Oh, did she make it?
I see her.
Oh, good. Hi, Sandy. I was actually just sending you the link to make sure you made it here for the cover because I knew you wanted to make the cover. But you can hear us, right, Sandy? Okay. Sandy, did you get your pages all made? Okay. Well, here we're going to make the cover. So, now you get to see my lovely desktop. I love these Lifetime tables, but I have really cut mine up. So, let me go ahead. I'm going to change my blade. I use my old blades when I'm cutting chipboard so I don't ruin them on the paper.
Okay.
So I don't, yeah, I don't like to throw them away. That way I get a lot of use out of them. I'm going to go ahead and cut my 12 by 12 chipboard piece. My first piece I'm going to cut at 6. And I really push down. I like to try and get it cut. And if it doesn't go through, it's almost through, then I just have to wipe. Let's see. Apparently somebody's wanting to come in and it's not letting them.
Oh.
But we're going to keep going. So now I've got 2 6 by 6 pieces of 6 by 12 pieces of chipboard. So one I'm going to cut 6 by 6. So we have 2 pieces. Like I said, I'm going to really push on this. Hopefully I can get it through. I bought another one of these cutters. It has the big wheel on it. And it will cut all the way through. But it cuts everything crooked.
Oh, not good.
I don't know if you've seen, this is the other cutter you can buy. Tri-Fiskars with this wheel.
Uh-huh.
Mine's gauged wrong. It cuts everything off centered, so I'm going to have to actually write the company and find out because everything I cut is crooked.
Oh, wow.
It must be in the molding of it. I don't know.
Oh.
Okay, now on our next page, this is the one we're going to cut 4 inches, and you'll be able to get 3 of the 4 inches. And this is going to be your top, your bottom, and the front flap.
Okay.
So now we're just going to cut this one at 4. And I love this too because it only does take one sheet of 12 by 12.
Yeah, I like that. 112 by 12, that was good.
Yeah. All right. So now we've got the 3 pieces. I'm just going to take that off. We've got a little bit of excess. My scissors.
Hi.
Hi.
That's my daughter, Mia.
Oh.
She sounds
Yeah.
Hi, sweetie.
There's a lot of people on here.
Yeah. So Kim,
Yes.
we've got. Did you get your pages made?
No, I'm still working on it, but I'm going to keep watching.
Okay. So I just cut my chipboard. Let me move this. Like I said, excuse my table. It's not stained. It just is beat up. So we've got 2 6 by 6 pieces of chipboard. I'm trying to get over here in the camera. 2 6 by 6 pieces of the chipboard.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have 3 pieces of 6 by 4.
6 by 4. Okay.
Okay, 1 piece of chipboard, and you've got all your pieces. Now here is the fun part. Okay, I'm going to try and stay in camera with this. You need 3 pieces of your, and see how that's, I don't know, that's really weird. That's how my paper came. But it won't show. So we need 3 pieces of the 8.5 by 11. Oh, you know what I did, Sandy? I showed how to put the pages together. Did you not see that? After we put the pages together, it should have come like this. It's where we measured 1.5 inches on the bottom. I'm going to, I can't do it tomorrow. It's my 30th wedding anniversary, so we're actually going, I told him it's marriage counseling, but we're going for a couple massages in the morning. And so I thought in the evening I'll do just a regular recorded video so that if you need to see the pages being done, I'll try and get that done tomorrow for you. So now what I do, like I said, I use my 3/8 core tape. Let's see. Oh, okay. Do they attach to the, oh yeah, they're going to attach to the cover. No, they don't attach to the bottom. They're going to attach just to the middle. It's really cool. You're going to love it. Okay, so on one edge, go ahead and put your tape. What we're doing is we're joining these 3 pieces together. So I'm going to have to do some moving here. Move all my stuff. Okay, now we're just going to attach another piece of paper. Let's go ahead and scoot it down. And we have to attach the 3rd piece. And there are going to be seams, but you won't see them once we get all your pages together. Okay, do you ever lose your tools when you're working? Well, there it is. Or throw them in the garbage.
Girl, I never throw them in the garbage, but I lose them all the time.
Oh, I have thrown them in the garbage. Okay.
Now I've thrown paper and ephemera in the garbage, and then I'm like, ah!
My camera, I'm trying to keep it. There we go. Let's go ahead and attach the next page. All right. Now what you have is a nice long piece of paper. See how long that is? And that's where we're going to play with our chipboards. And I'm going to have to look again. So on the chipboard, our first piece, if we were to lay this down flat, so we're going to have 2 of these at the top, then a 6x6 in the middle. So what I'm doing, and I'll show you that, I'm just kind of laying out where my pieces are going, and I'll pull that down, and then we've got another 4-inch at the bottom, and we're going to have a 6x6. So that's kind of what it's going to look like, if I can get in camera here. Yeah, there's my dirty t-shirt. Do you ever just wipe on your t-shirts too? Okay, so that's what our cover's going to look like when we're laying it out on our paper. Like I said, it's long, so it's really hard for me to get this all in the camera at the same time. So let's start at the top of our paper. If you've got your chipboard cut, you'll see what I mean, because you have to kind of play with it. You don't want, like I have a seam right there. I don't know if you can see that seam, because you don't want your seam to end up right where the fold is, or it will come apart. So at least get some of the chipboard over on that seam. And there's our bottom piece. That's going to turn out nice. You're going to have some extra, so I'm going to move it down a little bit. Like I said, you're just going to have to kind of play with the placement. Okay, I think that's going to be good. So I'm going to move it down. This is going to be my first piece. It's the 6x6. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my 1/2-inch square tape. Sorry. Oh. You don't have to use 1/2-inch score tape. I think it will hold better. It gives you more room. Yeah, I mean more coverage. I've watched some of the, okay, Kathy Orta is probably one of the most talented crafters I've ever seen, but she also, well, she has a degree in, she went to school, she's a graphic artist, everything. But sometimes I think she goes a little crazy with her supplies. Have you ever watched any of her videos? Her whole board I mean, she'll cover it. There's not a spot left of score tape. And by the time you're done covering with score tape, you don't have any left. It kind of gets expensive. So
I think she has a deal with Score Tape to they'll give her free stuff if she promotes using the whole roll.
you know, I think you're right because I watched one of her tutorials. It was one of her daily December dailies, and I'm not kidding. She covered every inch of this chipboard for the album, and I thought that's crazy. It's not going to come apart. Trust me. So go ahead and now this you can eyeball. You've got to have enough at the top. We're going to fold it over. So if you make it mini albums, you probably make your mini albums this way. Now the next thing that I do is I use my 1/4 inch score tape, and that's what I use for my spacer. And it also has another purpose. When you put 1/4 inch score tape in between your chipboard, it's going to grab that paper and it's going to hold it together when you're making your seams. I love doing it that way because it makes it so there's no puckers on the seams. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or not so much the seams on the you know, where you're making your folds for your chipboards to come together. Just add a couple pieces. Now, one reason you have to add score tape in the middle or glue, you can use glue. If you don't, it's like wallpaper. It's going to pucker. You're going to have a big bubble in the middle. Now, what I do, I just kind of hold it with my fingers like that, and I line it up just so we're at the top and bottom, we match. And then I just push it down. Now the seam for this paper is right here, so it ended in the middle, and this is the bottom. So I'm happy with the fact that the seam is there. And let's use our 1/4 inch. Love the 1/4 inch for spacing. And I don't have to try and make sure we're right on. So our next piece is going to be our back cover. So we're on number 3. I hear somebody working on paper.
That's me, probably. I'm like pulling out all my papers.
Now, if you did the bigger pages, Sandy, did you do the big pages that I did the other night, or did you do the small pages? I know she has to type back to us, guys. Let's just make sure that score tape's down good. Kim, I have a question. Is there a wide angle camera that crafters can buy that we can have so it shows the whole angle of our table?
The only thing I know is to zoom out.
The photographer.
I don't. There are wide angle ones, but we're talking about thousands of dollars. Those are
yeah,
like
I don't want to pay.
professional type of, you know, they do weddings and stuff.
Oh, okay.
You
Oh,
don't want
our
those.
other Tam just came in.
2, 3.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Hi, Susan.
Holy cow. Hello, can you hear me?
Hi. I can hear you. I can see you, too. Well, I can see a picture of you. Okay, is there anybody here that missed the measurements that need them again? Oh, you don't have a camera, but you can see? I mean, you can hear. Sorry. You can see then, right? You just don't have a camera on your laptop or your computer.
Who, me?
No, Tam.
Oh.
She just came in. She came in too. Oh, okay. She said yes. Like I mentioned, tomorrow night I will come home and I will do I'll just record this and put it on my YouTube also. Well, let me put it to you this way. I will try. And you can see I'm not perfect with the score tape. It doesn't have to be perfectly lined up. I just want to get it on there. And like if you're using glue, how many of you use glue?
I use it sometimes.
Do you use it on your covers?
No.
Oh, okay. Then we're
Every
good.
time I do, it bubbles up.
Yes, that's I was just going to tell you that if you're using the glue, you want to really make sure you don't lose your cover, because this is different than a mini album. You're going to have a lot of, let me show you, you have a lot of hinged areas. See how it's, and it's going to come off.
Okay.
Okay, so we're on our last piece. And if I'm out of camera, you let me know.
So it should be the 6x6, the 4x4, with the 4x6, another 4x6, and the 6x6.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I see what you're saying. Yes. Yes. 6x6 at this end.
Okay.
4x6.
Okay.
6x6 and 4x6.
Okay.
And now we are on our last 4x6. And then I also need to put down my spacer. And I use this 1/4 inch score tape for spacing. Like I explained before, it has two purposes. It spaces, and then it also helps grab the paper, because we covered the inside of this also, so you want to make sure it's grabbed in that hinge area so it doesn't rip. And off with the score tape. Like I said, I kind of hold the score tape so that I can get a good measurement with that cover, and then I just put it down on the other side. I have weird ways of doing things. I know everybody has a weird way. Okay, I'm going to turn it over, and now I'm just going to go all over the area with my bone folder. Okay, I'm going to turn it over. Now with the tip of my bone folder, I'm just going around the edge. I do that because you'll notice you kind of get a little bit of a score, and it helps the paper when you blend it. One reason, this craft cardstock from Hobby Lobby, like I mentioned before, I love it. It's probably the strongest I've found. I know some ladies won't shop at Hobby Lobby, but then get somebody to get you some cardstock there, because this is the strongest I've ever used. Okay, you've got your two ends, and you'll notice you've got quite a bit right there. So what I'm going to do is grab my knife, or this.
How many people are you on with?
Yeah, they can hear you, you know.
Oh, Susan, I know. I just love it too. Now this side, of course, is too long. I have another ruler, the metal one I usually use, because you only want about 1.25 inches from this end. And so I'm going to go ahead and just cut that off. You could actually stick it back through your cutter. You can use a knife, however you want, just so you leave about 1.25 inch. Okay, now we've got our corners. There's tools you can use to cut your corners. There's, oh my gosh, there's all kinds of things you can see online. Well, with me, you're just seeing it's how I do it. I just cut it off. You want to make sure you have about 1/8 of an inch, and you can draw it if you don't trust yourself. I don't worry about it. I just cut it off because we're going to fold it under. So I've cut my corners, and that's what it looks like now. So you've got this great big long piece. Isn't that cool? Now we want to go ahead and add our either 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch, whichever you're going to use, along our edge. When I was making the pages, you'll see earlier when I made the pages, it doesn't take a lot of paper, which is really nice with this file folder box, but it takes a lot of tape. That's the only thing. Did you use tape when you were putting yours together, Bonette?
Yeah.
Did you notice it takes a lot of tape?
Yes, it does. I'm about to be out.
It does take a lot of tape, but it doesn't take a lot of paper, which is kind of the trade-off.
Right.
So now I've got tape here, and I have tape here.
Here we go.
And let's go around the edge. And we'll go around this edge.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Let me move my folder again, my file. And we're going to go ahead and do the end. Okay, so now we've got tape here, and let's just use our bone folder. Make sure everything's good and secure. And let's get our tape off. I go ahead and I take the tape off of everything. And you'll notice the tape in the middle. I forgot to take it off, but it comes off really easy, actually. You just kind of pull. You do want that taken off. Just rip it all off. And we're ready to fold our cover over. Okay. I just kind of work it. Now this is longer, so your ends, it's funny, it wants to buckle on me. So you want to work it just a little bit to soften up those fibers. And then just bring her on over. This is where, if you make mini albums, have you noticed maybe your edges will crack? Because you really, I always crack it with my bone folder every single time. So I try not to use my bone folder when turning it over. Now for the bottom, I'm just going to, I grab the edges and I bring it up towards me and I just turn it over. So right here. Now I know this craft cardstock is one though. You don't really have to worry too much about it cracking. Mostly some of your patterns. Let's just smooth that all down. Now the corners. I do this a little weird. Kim will tell you. And Susan's watched some of my videos. In fact, Susan's made a ton of albums. I'm trying to get it so you can see. I bring it so that this is facing me. And I just turn in my corners. And I don't know why I do it this way, but if I don't, I can't get my corners right. So just turn in that little extra piece. Can you guys see that extra piece? I just kind of push it over my board. And then I just work it over. Then I have a nice smooth corner. See how it lays flat. Like I said, we all have weird ways of doing stuff. This is my weird way. I just push that corner in and then fold it on over. Okay, so there's your cover. Now go ahead and kind of push it over. And I use your bone folder so it, now see when you're pushing it down in, it's going to attach to that tape. Oh, we already grabbed it. So there's our cover. So now it's finally starting to look like, I'll show you, a file box. See that when you put it together? So we have our box, and there's our flap that we'll be covering. Now for the inside, you're going to need probably you're going to need about 2 1/4 of the 8.5 by 11. So we want to cover this, and you'll also notice how much stronger it makes it with the cardstock on there. So this is 6 inches wide. This is 6 inches wide. I'm going to move that out. So let's go ahead and cut. Let's cut our cardstock. You're going to have to cut 3 pieces at 5 and just barely before the 8. So 5 7/8. And let's see how that looks. Sometimes you may even want to go a little bit smaller, but no, that looks good. I'm going to cut another piece at 5 7/8 wide. Forgot to change my blade back, but it's not doing too bad. And another piece at 5 7/8. I won't need this whole piece, so you'll be able to use the extra piece for one of the pocket tags. So how this is going to work, we'll cover the whole inside like that, and then you'll be able to put your pattern paper on top also. So what I do for the inside, once again, you can use 3/8, 1/2 inch. I just wouldn't use a 1/4 inch on your score tape. And square that end off. We're just going to go ahead as if we were putting it on the cover, just like we did around the edges. But do not do this edge. If you do this edge and you end up landing on one of the, where it bends, it's going to get stuck in there and it's not going to fold right. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave that end open, and you're going to do about 4 rows of score tape the long way. Actually, you just have to do 3. We're good. And then push it all down. And see how quick these are? Kim, you can make these in one day.
Yeah, that's what I like about this.
Me too.
I like anything that's
okay.
fast.
So let's get our cover. And let's go ahead and cover our inside. And let's just smooth that all down. Now, go ahead and start bending it to get where your crease is. And push it down so it attaches to that tape. Okay, and we've got another one right about there. how it, I love the way it grabs when you're in the crease. It grabs that paper and holds it down. So now we've got to cover this section. This section. Let's go ahead and do the same thing to another piece of paper that you cut. Start with that edge.
What happened to this?
I don't know. Mine does that a lot. Something about the video keeps turning off.
So, Kim, are you just now getting all your pages cut?
Yes, I know you can hear me.
It's okay. We can hear the crafter at work. I thought maybe you were having your daughter do it.
No, actually, I don't know what happened to me, girl. Who knows? I get distracted, and then I'm in another land, and I don't know.
I knew you wouldn't get your pages done.
Me's been like sleeping all day long, and I'm like a little worried about that. So she finally just woke up, so I don't really know what's going on with her.
But I'm going to sleep after dinner.
Yeah, she said she's going to go back to bed after dinner. So she's just...
Oh, she's growing. Okay, now you've got a seam there. I mean, you've got, see where it ends? And you don't want this new piece of paper, you don't want it to be in that fold, or it'll be too thick. So just come about 1/4 of an inch onto there. Line it up. Smooth it down, and then find your creases again, of course. Fold it up. And Kim, if anybody who has music on, we found out through Kat you can't have music on.
Oh, sorry, they got the TV on.
Oh, it's okay. You know why?
I'll mute myself. That's okay.
It has to do with royalties, and YouTube actually kicked Kat off for a while.
Oh, wow.
I know. She had background music, and then she got a notice saying there could be no background music because of royalties. And somebody else had background music, and they gave her a suspension.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that weird?
Can you hear it now?
Nope, we're good. So now we just have this little piece, and it looks like we want about 3 7/8. You know, that's what I've got down. Yours may be just a hair different. So I'm going to cut mine 3 7/8. Oh, and you know what? Tell me, I've got another light on. If that's making a glare, I can turn that off. If you're seeing a glare.
No, I can't see anything right now,
Okay.
but it's my thing. I don't know why.
And this little piece, I mean, when you cover the inside of I cover the inside of my books too, before I even put down my matting, because it serves 2 purposes. It covers up, if you should make a mistake on your corners, maybe they don't meet, you just slap a piece of paper on top of there before you put your matting down, and it also strengthens your chipboard. Sometimes I use 2 pieces of chipboard, but if you use chipboard on the inside and outside, you won't have to use 2 pieces of chipboard for screen. Okay, now on this one, I'm going to go ahead and go around all the corners, around all the sides, because we don't have to worry about a fold on the end. And I'm just going to put maybe 1 down the middle. Now, if you haven't picked out your pattern paper yet, but you should if you've made your pages, now's the time to decide. You don't have to put pattern paper on the inside of this if you don't want to. I did it both ways. On my, I'll show you on this one. I put pattern paper back behind our. This is the back side. I put the pattern paper on the inside, and I actually put it I'm trying to turn it there. I put it on the inside here. So if you want pattern paper, now's the time to do it. If you don't care about it being just plain brown paper, don't worry about it. But one thing we're going to do is we're going to do, after we fold this up, get it all attached. Okay. We're going to put our magnets. I mentioned in the last video, if you don't have the big ones, go ahead and use your small ones, but you need 3. And I'm going to go ahead and use my big ones, the big basic gray magnets, and we're going to put them on. So you have a flap that comes over. Can you see that at that angle? Here's our flap. So we're going to lay it flat, and we're going to put magnets. You don't want to go too close to the top. Otherwise, you won't get your paper hidden. So I just take 2, my plus and my negative. And my plus and negative are not going together well. Okay, plus and negative. Let's take the paper backing off. You don't have to measure, just pick your spot. You want to make sure you're inside there so your pattern paper won't show. And who on here has not used basic gray magnets?
Me?
Are you kidding?
Yes, I'm getting the first ones from you.
Oh, that's right. I did send you some. Oh, shoot. I wish you had them. You are absolutely going to love them.
I am making marks now, so I'll fix it when they come.
Yeah, you know what? You can still make the rest of your album, and then as soon as you get them, then you can put them on and do the rest of your covering.
Okay.
So now I'm going to go ahead and, okay, let me tell you something. With the big basic gray magnets, I don't know what the deal is. I think they have an issue with their adhesive. And if you find that you're having problems, I don't know if it's been the heat of the summer or something, then just use your score tape. It's the same. Okay, now let's go ahead and fold it over. I'm going to set it up, fold it over so that it comes down where you want it. Squish that together. Now you've got your magnets on the front and the back. Now if you're going to do 3, just go ahead and do 1, 2, and 3. And 3, you know, should hold it. It's not going to be as strong as your big ones, but it'll still work for you. So there's your cover. If any of you have made it with me, isn't that cool? Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I want to cover the inside. I want to go ahead and cover just my front flap and my back flap. And I will cover these 3 because it's going to be for the daughter-in-laws for Christmas. And I did show the paper earlier. I'll just get out my stack here. I'm using, I love it, the Made to Love. And it is so pretty. It is textured. It is gorgeous. You're going to fall in love with it. And look at this. These are the recipe cards that come with it. You get a sheet of these, and it's textured. And it's all double-sided, just like your basic gray. And it already, I mean, it's just gorgeous paper. When we were making our pages, though, you only had to use, we cut it in half, so we needed a 6-inch piece. And it comes with stickers. Those are the stickers. Aren't those cute? Mount those onto chipboard, glossy accents. You've got some really nice add-ons to your pages. So here's our 6-inch pieces that we have left. We have tons of them left. Like I said, it doesn't take a lot of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and use these for my inside. Let's use that one. Because they're already cut at 6 inches, they're going to fit just right. So let me put this to the side. How many of you have to dig yourself out of a hole after you're done crafting? Okay. So cut it here below 6 because it's 6, so we want to go 5 7/8. And I've got to change this blade. I forgot. It's the one I use for chipboard. Okay, there we go. I use my old beat-up blade for chipboard. Much better. And then I'll still have plenty of paper left for my inserts. 5 7/8.
Oh, they're so quiet. I thought you stopped it.
By 5 7/8.
Turn the volume down because of your music on there.
Oh, I'm so sorry to your daughter, Kim.
Oh no, that's okay. She just keeps walking by. She's too busy watching TV, girl. She's not worried about us.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and ink my edges, and I'm just using the vintage photo. Yes, Sandy, you need to get an order together because you've been quilting for too long. She took off to a quilting retreat, and I don't know how many of you could see, but I got to see all the new covers she did, and they're just gorgeous. Okay, there's those two. So I'm going to put one right here on the front cover and one in the back. Because we are attaching our pages to the front and back cover, I am using the 3/8 of an inch score tape. I want it to stay down, and I don't want, the pages to pull off. Because they're not attached to the binding at all. This is what they're going to be attached to. They're going to be attached to the front and the back of this chipboard that we just made. But sometimes you want to make something, but you just don't want to. You don't want to make the spine and the book. You want to make something that's a little quicker, and this will do it for you. Oh, Susan, have you been out of crafting for a while? Because you made those books like all in one weekend. You should see Susan. She does some awesome work. If some of you, she did one of my tutorials. Actually, she did 3 of my tutorials. She made 3 books in one weekend. She made my Mother Goose album, and then she did a big 10 by 10 and just whipped those babies right together. Okay, what I'm doing is, I know I'm out of camera a little bit. I'm just putting the tape on my front cover. I'm not going to decorate the bottom of the book. I don't mind that it'll be plain. You really won't see it. So my bottom, I'm just going to leave the paper color. So there is our front cover that will come up, and there's the back. So turn it towards you. Now this is where we're going to attach our accordion that we made earlier. If you've already made your accordions, you should have a 1.5 inch mark on the back from the bottom, and then you need to measure 1.5 inches from the bottom, and this is how we're going to attach our pages. So let's go ahead and get our tape on. Just like when we were attaching the pages earlier today, you want to just stay inside of the square. You don't want to go onto the mat.
Yeah,
The matting on. If you're using glue, go ahead and just smear it on there. Okay? Turn it over. Oh, but if you're using glue and you're making this with the video, hold on, because it's going to get stuck to the table. I talked about glue a little bit earlier. A lot of ladies like to use glue. I don't. Glue dries hard. I don't care what kind of glue you use. It does not dry flexible. So when you pull on these pages, they might come apart. Just, I want you to be aware of that. Okay. Let's go ahead, get your book in front of you. Okay, so what I have is, I have the front cover closest to me, and this is the back cover. Okay, we're going to attach to this back cover first. And actually, this is going to my back. So I'm going to take off all the tape. And now if you're using glue, go ahead and smear your glue everywhere inside of the square. And don't forget, you've got to be an inch and a half from the bottom. Okay? Now, you want to bring the cover up. This is going to be hard to see. You want to bring the cover up almost to an L. So this is the front. It's laying flat and it's going up. Because you want your page to sit. You want it to sit there. Okay. Square it up with the back. And then just push it down. And then I'm going to go in with my bone folder. I'm inside of the pocket. Now, let me bring my camera up, see if that will help. See how that's attached to the back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just like when we attach the pages. Now, we have to attach this front to this page. Okay? So I'm going to take off my tape. I'm putting my hand right inside of the pocket, okay, and I'm going to bring it right to that crease of the board where it folds. I'm going to bring it up and then just push it right down. Kind of have to be a contortionist there. Bring the bone folder in, smash it down. This is an odd-shaped item to have, I know, to do a tutorial on. Now your box should be all complete. Then when you open it, now we have our file folder. Isn't that cool?
I like it.
Yeah. See, and there's no binding, so you have lots of expansion room. And then you can decorate the inside right here. Then you can decorate your cover, your flap, your bottom. Now, one thing I didn't do, I'm going to get the little wooden legs, and I'm going to put them, excuse me, I'm going to put the wooden legs on the bottom so that it'll have the little feet. And then there's your little box. Now, for each one of the pockets, we want to cut 12 tags. So let's grab our cutter. Some more of our paper, and I cut mine 2 at a time. And my table's not big enough for this project. Okay, I'm going to cut it at 5.5. So your inserts are 5.5 by 5 7/8. And you can round the corners, you can leave them however, they just sit on the inside of each pocket. Now you can do more than one, because this thing will hold. Like I said, I had put all 12 of them in there. It was tight, but I put all 12. So if you're doing a recipe file, see, you can put tons in there. And then you've just got those to put in. You can do recipe cards. Excuse me. You can do the recipe cards. You can do some of the ladies earlier, I mentioned to them, I have an order. A lady wants me to do a baby file. So I'm going to do a little baby boy file. And it's going to have the days of the month. So there's 12 files, so up to till his first birthday. I thought that was going to be really cute. Get some more paper. So your inserts, like I mentioned, are 5.5 inches wide. Well, go just a hair under 5.5 inches wide so they'll fit perfectly. And 5 7/8 of an inch long. You could even go, you can even make them the full 6 inches if you wanted, because you've got enough space in between. So that's just your personal preference. So then we're going to cut it just a little below 5.5. And I've got 2 more. I think we're already there. So there's my inserts. Those are all ready to decorate. And now your book's all ready to decorate. And I want to show you one other thing for some that didn't make it to the other one. This is the larger file folder I made. This one is 10 inches long by 6 inches. The dimensions are a little bit different, of course, when you're doing your pages, and I only made 6. So it has a nice big insert. And on this one, I used the Time to Celebrate. You know what? Graphic 45 came out with this paper. It's really hard. I thought it was a hard one to use. It's geared more, I think, for wedding and anniversaries. Maybe a 90th birthday party for an older person. I mean, it's very beautiful paper, you can see. But I was having a hard time finding a use for it because they do have a lot of wedding and anniversary scenes on here. But I thought, how pretty for my own personal file folder. So I'm going to use this for my receipts, bills. I can put them in there. So this one is a fun one just for yourself. And then this, of course, this has so many uses. So you can, I'm doing this one, like I said, for recipes. You can do, this one is more for family. So on this one, I'm using it just to keep the kids' pictures, my grandkids' pictures. I'm just going to put them in the pockets. I'm not even going to worry about putting them on the mats because I can keep them in order that way. I'm hoping anyway. Yeah, and the baby gift. Of course, I can't wait for the baby gift. Now, the Time to Flourish. Which paper do you need, Sandy? All of it? Just kidding. The Time to Flourish paper from Graphic 45. I'm just waiting for them to say it's at the warehouse, and I'll go pick it up because I am close to the Graphic 45 warehouse. I'm going to do a calendar one. It's going to be bigger, and I'll get it figured out and do the tutorial. It's going to hold the calendar pages 8 by 8, I hope, and then it's going to have each one of these will be January, February through December, of course, and it's going to be the Time to Flourish, and I can't wait to do that one. So as soon as it gets here, we'll do a tutorial on that. And does anybody have any questions on the construction? Everybody got so quiet.
No questions at all. You did a good.
Nope, no questions here.
Was it easy to understand?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm hoping, because, and you know what, I really hope that we can get Ileana to do. I would love to do this as a swap. Thank you, Sandy.
Yeah.
I would love to swap this. Could you imagine the things we could come up with?
Why don't you just do a country craft creation swap?
Yeah, that's good too.
But you know what? I don't want to step on her toes. I don't think that'd be very nice. I wanted to do a swap, but I joined her group first quite a while ago, and I don't want to do that to her.
Well, I mean, you can just do it once a month. You know, not like she does several a month, you know?
Yeah. I'll think about it, because I really love her, and I think she's done a great job bringing us all together. I'll ask her if I could do a guest one. How's that?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to do that to her. because I do
Well, I
love
think
her.
she was saying she wanted to. Didn't she want some help? Because, I don't
She
remember. I
did.
thought she had mentioned something.
Oh, I could. Oh, Sandy, I guess I could for customers, huh? Oh, yeah, because Sandy, you're not in the swap group. She did want help. That's why she asked if I would mind being a moderator, because I am home and I work on crafts like all day. Because my grandkids, when they, yeah, hey, I raised my kids. It's time for me to craft all day. Anyway, I'm on, my computer's on, and I told her sure, because she's had some problems with some flakers, but we're getting it all fixed out so that everybody will be on the same page. Well, Sandy, if you weren't in a swap group, and would you do a swap though once? Oh, you would do one once in a while. Okay, I just saw that. So you would once in a while. You know what? Maybe we could get Chris of the Crafter to do one for us.
Oh, yeah.
But those girls are really talented. They scare me. They're so talented. But we
Oh,
could
my
definitely.
goodness. You're so funny.
So, now all we have
I
to
ain't
do.
scared. I ain't scared of nobody.
Oh. All you have to do now is, are you comfortable with covering your own pages, or do you want me to go ahead and cover this so you can see what it looks like?
I want to see what it looks like.
Oh, okay. Then let's go ahead, and I'm going to cut. I know I need to do the back and the front at 6 by 6, and I am going to get a different piece of paper because I want this for my cover. Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I love this Cartabella paper. And I love the fact that they're here in Utah, where I'm at. Okay, so if you're going to do your covers, you're going to want 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. And I don't want to cut her head off, but we're going to have to. So let me change that one. Let's go with this one. Okay, so I need 5 7/8. That's going to be on the front. And I'm going to use the flap that comes over the front. I want to use this one. 5 7/8. We know it's only 4, so here's what I'm going to do. I want to keep the little girl, so I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to cut that at 3 7/8, so I have the girl. And the top, I need another 4-inch piece, or 3 7/8. And it's getting time for a new blade. Oh, you know what? I think I'll just put Mom right on the back. There we go. Okay. Oh, you know what? This is a good thing I am showing you the cover, because I need to show you how I did the bottom. I forgot about that, Kim, so thank you. So let's go ahead and ink our pages if you're working along with me. Oh, I know, Tam, this is really adaptable. And if you guys have any other ideas, let me know what you're thinking of using it for. And it's quick. Oh my gosh, you can make 2 of these in a day. Now on my nets, I'm going to do another hangout on Wednesday. So if you're wanting to learn how to make flowers, like I put on the front of mine, I'm going to do another hangout on making these flowers.
Okay. What time?
Well, see, I'm in Utah. Everybody, I'll probably have to do it around 4:30. How does that sound?
Okay.
Or I can go later. I don't want to go too late, past 6. Otherwise, the people on the East Coast, they're like, we want to go to bed.
Yep.
But you're not going to believe, I think Kim watched the one. Those flowers are made with your punches. You don't even need a special tool.
Okay.
So if you were wanting to add, you know, learn how to add different elements to your projects, and you don't want to keep buying flowers, I don't know about you, but they get expensive. And I like them to match my paper line. All right, so now let's put this on right over our magnets. And you are going to have a gap on the bottom, which is why this is where we're going to put these two little pieces on the bottom to cover it. Just smash that down. So now when that closes, I'm going to put the little girl there. Let's see. Can you guys see that one? Okay. There we go. So that's what it will look like. The Cartabella paper packs, they do only come with one sheet of each design. And this is the perfect project for those because you won't have to, you use just maybe one paper pack. You know, another thing I was thinking, this would be really cute, Christmas cards, and then you could put Christmas cards in there as a gift, the blank cards, if you're a card maker. That would be a really cute gift.
Yeah, I was thinking about making one for myself to put my Christmas cards in that I get.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, and you know, that's it. There was I don't know, can everybody see the comments in the chat?
No, I can't.
Oh, because Tam just mentioned that she would make one and then just put the photos in it because her parents don't like for her parents. And that's true. I know my mom gets pictures and just sticks them in a basket, so this would be perfect. So there's the cover. Now let's do the top. I like the top. It says Southern Peach Cobbler, so that's going to be really cute. Oh, and then if you find that, how many of you buy these at Sally's? These are so great. Sorry about the noise. If you don't have, if your blade is maybe out the door, and you need to buy a new one. These come in handy to get those little pieces off. Oh, Susan, I've never seen them in the dollar store. I'm going to have to go look. Whoops. So good. I am not, oh, what is it? It's what, acrylic nails, maybe, I guess, if you go get your nails done. Or if you just get a manicure.
Like a emery board file, something like that?
Yeah, you could use an emery board. A nail buffer. There we go. Susan got it.
Okay.
Do you know what? Yeah, Sally's, check your All a Dollar or your Dollar Tree. Ever since crafting, yeah, I don't do manicures anything anymore because they get ruined. And I have horses anyway, and they are constantly pulling on the reins, and so they break my nails, and I just said, forget it. I'm not spending the money. And with all of the inks, oh, I don't know how many times my fingernails got ruined. They still do. And cut. Okay, now there's nothing you can do when it comes to this cover. I tried to cover this right here with a piece of paper and it cracked. So this is where you just want to ink it. Unless you have maybe paper that isn't cardstock and it won't crack. But I put the paper there, opened it, and it just cracked. So I think it's just fine using the ink for me. I hate when my papers crack. And I knew I had cut that too short. So let's go ahead and use this one. I really like this one too. But it's a little too wide. Oh, Sandy, you need to come ride my horses, yes. They're the pictures that I put on Facebook of them. They're just two big babies. They're like dogs. They're in our backyard, basically. And we have about a half an acre in between us and the neighbors, and they torment the neighbors to feed them. Because our neighbors used to give them, they were getting too fat. We told them, you gotta stop. They were feeding them from their garden almost every day. And so now they go over to the fence and they holler at them to come feed them. They're smart. They're creatures of habit, that's for sure. Once you start feeding them from the garden, they expect it. And they're naughty. They tore apart our four-wheeler seat. Just ripped it apart with their teeth. Yeah, I only get nails now for special occasions. Like, I think I'll get them for my husband's work Christmas party, and then I'll probably take them off. Or I'll cut them off with a pair of scissors by accident while I'm crafting. Okay. So there's my back cover. And here's my bottom. And since I cut this one too short, we're just going to put Mom on the bottom. So we're going to cut that to 3 7/8. We'll stick her on the bottom. Or maybe we'll go that way. I think I'll go that way. And then I'm going to get the, whoops, I'll go with that. Then I'm going to get the wooden legs to put on the bottom next time I'm in the craft store. And then I'll just glue those on with my E6000. I think that would be really cute. I tried to use the Tim Holtz, his, you know, the corner legs, but you can't because of the accordion on each side. Stick one down the middle. You know, another paper I think that'd be really pretty, and I have some left, is the French Country from Graphic 45. That would make a really pretty kitchen.
Girl, I need that one. You better sell that to me.
You know what? I can't.
Why?
I only have mine left.
Oh, man.
That's the problem. I buy it and then I sell it out to you guys and I forget to keep some for me. Okay, so now we have to do these corners. You know, you don't have to do this if you don't want to at the bottom, but I do want to where it'll come up and kind of give a decorative edge. So what I'm going to do, cut this to just 2 inches. 2 inches by 5 7/8 of an inch. This is, and you can also take your, oh, what are they called? Punches. And you can do the decorative corners if you want. Not decorative corners, decorative across the top. So let's just score that at 1. And go ahead and fold that in half. Ink your edges if you want to. I ink everything. and it's going to fit right there. So let's go ahead and get our 3/8 of an inch score tape. Now, Cat, or Cheshire Cat, I mentioned this earlier, when she gets back from her cruise, she's going to be doing a tutorial on Ustream on Mondays on a cat tower. I don't know if you guys, did you see it? I posted it on Country Craft Creations. She's going to do a tutorial on how to make that, and I think it's going to be pretty cute, actually. Okay, so let's... What I do before I take my tape off, I've got my thumb in the back, and I'm holding it down, and I'm just going to bend it over. I'm one of those that can't get it on straight if I take the tape all off. It'll get stuck somewhere it doesn't belong. Oh, they have both sizes at the dollar store? Cool. Okay, see? I get a little bit off center. I am not one of those people that can do things straight. So I have to be very careful. Okay, upside down. Take this tape off. Get my little Cricut tool. I've never used this on the Cricut. I've only used it for score tape. Push that down and see how it, there we go. Kind of gives a finished edge right there. Now if you want to do your scallop, it's going to look really good too. So I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to do the same thing now to that side. Looks like I'm going to have to use a different piece of paper. And actually, I'm just going to use this blue. I really like this blue. So I'm going to cut a 2-inch strip. Move my book up. By 5 7/8. Let's go ahead and score it at 1. I have a smaller scoreboard, but I never can find it. And have you seen the new scoreboards, Kim, that have come out? Oh my gosh, ScorePal has them from the Score Tape people. They are 1/8 of an inch.
Oh yeah, remember I told you I wanted you to order me one because I want to get one if you can.
Oh yeah, well I can't order them yet. And my gosh.
I thought that they were doing pre-orders.
Well, they have, yeah, that's what they're doing is the pre-orders.
Oh, okay.
They haven't started to ship them yet, and they're 1/8 of an inch. And I will check and see what did I tell you the price and everything already?
I can't. I think you did, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh, I'm gonna have to double check on their site because 1/8 of an inch. Oh my goodness, that's gonna save us a lot of trouble.
Yeah, especially for me since I'm not. I hate math.
Oh, it really is though, especially when you're doing your not spines. Come on, help me here. Hinges.
Yeah.
And you want to make them a different size. Okay, I've got some extra tape on the edges. Okay, so once again, bring my book down. I really like that turquoise blue. It reminds me of the old turquoise kitchens back in the 50s. Hold it there. Turn it upside down. And if you don't have one of these from a Cricut, you can buy them separate. You've got to get them. They're just wonderful. Okay, there's our back cover. Top. There's the front and the bottom. Yeah, I've got 2 colors here, but the nice thing, it doesn't show. Oh, the pre-order they're doing on the ScorePal, the tape company. They're making scoreboards that are only an 1/8 of an inch instead of your 1/4 of an inch. Aren't these a 1/4 of an inch? Yeah. Anyway, they're a lot smaller, closer together, and they're actually deeper. They're 1/8 of an inch, and that board will be out pretty soon, and I'll be able to.
Well, not only that, they mark it so that you can actually see what each one of them is. You don't
yeah,
have
they're
to sit
each,
there
yeah.
and guess.
Each groove they're marked, totally marked, so you know what it is. It's marked in numbers, not in dashes.
Right.
And it's wonderful. So there's your cute little box. Now
Love it. It's adorable.
Yeah, now just decorate it, maybe make some flowers, go crazy. This is what I did. I made the little flowers to go on the edges. They kind of got smushed down. I got to squish them up. Anyway, make your flowers, decorate it however you want, and you're set to go. And that's all there is to the file folder. Isn't that cool?
Awesome. Thank you.
You are so welcome. I did put the measurements on Country Craft Creations. So you have the measurements. That's where they are. And then I will get that video up hopefully early next week for you on YouTube. Maybe this one will go on YouTube if I don't erase the recording again.
Hopefully you don't.
You guys are so welcome, and I'm so glad this works. And if you wanted to come over on Wednesday, then let's plan on 5:30 my time.
Okay.
It's 5:18 here now, so I'm not sure what time it is where you guys are, and I'll show you how to make the flowers.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. I'll see everybody later. Oh, you're so welcome, Sandy. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.